always start good. They always start good. If it started bad, they would never been a fight in the first place. But Vladimir is motivated to get back what's rightfully his, and we are. His whole team is motivated to help him achieve his goal. So training camp is going good, and we hope we continue to do so.
Okay, Wladimir?
Good day one more time. It was just mentioned that we've been here for so many years, and some of your faces I've seen before in the past years many times. Thank you for coming back to Stangevet. I hope you will enjoy the time while you're here, and I'm sure you will. This time it's a little bit different than it used to be in the past years. Different because even when I stepped in, on the property of the hotel, and I said to the people that I've seen also for the years, and they've been taking care of the training camp for such a long time, and place at the hotel, or room at the hotel. And I said, this is the first time I'm actually coming up to the field in the past 13 years. So, and it was something unusual and different, and it is unusual. And I see it, please understand me right, and I see it not by no way negative, I see it positive, because it's a challenge. So it's not a problem. A problem is something that the person worries about. I don't see it as a problem, I see it as a challenge, because the word challenge has something positive in it that makes you be excited about it. And after long years of success, some understand that actually you were kind of dull with your feelings, with your motivation. Yeah, you were motivated, but not as much as right now. So I can see the differences, how it used to be before, used to be, and how it is right now. So it's definitely a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy that I will combine this word challenge that I actually like so much to take. It is challenging to fight Fury in the way of boxing. I'm talking about just the boxing side of it. And it was challenging in our first fight, and I'm so glad that I have a rematch, because some of the athletes have no chance to have a rematch. When they perform at the Olympics, or they perform at some other sports where they have only one shot, one opportunity, and then if they miss it, they cannot repeat it. There's no revenge. So in this case, revenge or repeat. And that's exactly the headline of the posters that we have, and the headline of the fight, and that's exactly what it is. And I see it as a great challenge. It's a challenge for me, and it's got to be a challenge for Fury as well. But that's why sport is so interesting, because we don't know what is going to happen. Is Klitschko so old and it's over with him, and it's time for the young man to come in and fight and show all the capabilities, or is different, or he still have some power in those guns. So anyway, there's a lot of questions that needs to be cleared and will be answered on July 9th. I couldn't really believe what actually happened, and yes, Fury won the fight, but I didn't feel defeated. I didn't feel defeated. I mean, it was just not the question in my mind to think about retirement or anything like that. So I was more actually motivated, and as you know, just 3 days after the fight, I announced my rematch and the execution of the option of the contract. Simon Peter, he used to be my sparring partner before Charles Schufert, Charles Schufert fight, and I remember at top rank gym we sparred, and he came in, and the bloody nose, and came back, and so. But then he was built up really well. He was the knockout machine in the States, and I was dead man walking. That's how they called me. People forget about it, but I was dead man walking. He's supposed to walk through me, and he was undefeated. His motivation was as high as the sky. And I know how to break it. I've done it before. I know young men with a lot of success. They're getting a lot of. They're getting a little bit bigger than they are. in their mind, and so I know what it feels like. It's not like unfair, but it is fair. You collecting the belts for many years. You're making all those negotiations, efforts, putting energy, because any unification fight it's a very complex process, because you have two sanctioning bodies, that you have two promoters, and you have two fighters that have their own ambitions, and so you're going through a lot of process of all of this, involved financial side, emotional side, all of this. And then you collect it through the years, and then you put everything in the line in every fight, and then boom, somebody else gets what all at once. And I was like a little like I was just lucky about it. Like, as soon as the chef leaves the kitchen, the rats are dancing on the table. I'm like, as soon as they left the kitchen, the one title got lost. And so it's getting a little chaotic. But on the other hand, on the other side, I'm sorry, it's getting more exciting, because now we have other champions and other versions. People are talking about it, and so there's more, also more energy in it for boxing. But as I said before, it's fair, it's unfair but fair. You collect all of this, you put all the work in it, and then boom, you lose one time, and then everything that you were doing before is getting to the hands of the other person. That's where I'm coming to the point right now. So belts are secondary. It's about fear in this case, and I'm emotional about it, and I love it. I'm excited about it. So I'm expecting him to be in the perfect shape. He's in a good spot in his life. He became champion. He's trained hard. He knows he's going to face a challenge as well, and that's going to keep him, in a good mood and in a good shape. And he's going to be in good shape for the fight.
He was in a nightclub 10 days ago.
Don't worry about it. Listen, I've been doing things. He's young. He needs to collect experience. He doesn't really. You fight a guy that cannot hold his mouth on certain things. I'll get to the point now. I was like in shock, and I mentioned at the press conference his statements about women, about gay community, men and women. When he got to Jewish people, he sounded like Hitler. The man is imbecile. Seriously. I mean, you cannot put it all together once to represent the sport of boxing, and I just can't describe him as an imbecile. But sometimes, I just, screw it, let's do it, I'm emotional, like, I've been very controlled of my emotions in the past years, and sometimes you just want to let it go free.
So has he brought about a change in you, in the fact that you've got that attitude now?
Yeah, there's things changed a little bit, yeah. I mean, you cannot remain the same, as Ali said. If you're 50 and you're still thinking like you were 20, you lost 30 years of your life. Life is rolling, so things are changing with the experiences that you're making. Of course, I have different attitude, different approach to the things, and I love when right now, as I said, don't call me crazy, but I really love that it's a little change, it's different, and we're sitting here and I'm not champion, I don't have the belts, and
I don't think a simple strap around your waist will make the fight better. If that's the case, the Charles Martin fight would have ended so quickly when I did that. So in that regard, that's just tough. Do I think this fight will be Tyson going to be better than he was? Once again, who knows? But mentally, yes, we're preparing for the best Tyson Fury that we could prepare for.
Do you think there is more to come from him? Do you think he can be better than that man in Düsseldorf?
I mean, who knows? He's setting his heart is set on what he accomplished in Düsseldorf. So, but once again, Tyson wouldn't be, he will, if he wanted to retire, he'd retire now. This is the best time for him to retire, if that's what he wanted to do. But he really wants to win his rematch, and I really feel this. So yes, he's going to bring his best, and Vladimir will bring his.
ready?
Assistant trainer James Ali Bashir, you're a long time in the Klitschko camp. Anything different going on this time around after the first defeat in 11 years?
A little more relaxation and at the same time more intensity, more focus. You know, he's lost, so he's more focused now. He has to try to get something back that he had for so long. So, you know, it's much more focus and intensity, but at the same time, relaxation.
Okay, and have you analysed, or has anybody analysed what went wrong in the first fight?
Well, everybody's going to have their spin on it, but in actuality, the only person that knows what went wrong is Wladimir Klitschko. And God, you know, outside those two, nobody knows what went wrong.
From your own point of view, have you seen any change in the preparations this time for the rematch?
I see a little more intensity, a little more focus. That's what I see the most, you know. But for the most part, the Klitschko camp works like a heartbeat. Never speeds up, never slows down, same thing, you know. But I think a little more technique, a little more this, a little more that, you know. It's just a tighten up the thing, you know. But at the same time, he's going to have to work because Tyson Fury is the champion of the world. He knows it. He likes being called champion, and he's not going to unask those belts that easy. He's going to have to fight to do it. He's going to have to, I tell Wladimir every single day of this training camp, we're going to have to fight. You know, we're going to have to fight to take those belts back. He's come from a lineage. His lineage is fighting, you know. He likes to fight, and his boxing technique, in my mind, is in the basement, but he's a fighter. And when it gets down to dirty, he'll be there to help you out with it. You know, he's that kind of guy.
How do you rate Fury as a champion? I know he's only, this will be his first defence of the titles. How do you rate him so far?
Well, he's an undefeated boxer. He's an undefeated boxer, so you have to give him accolades for that. That alone. Very basic in nature, but you have to give him respect. You have to give him due respect. He's undefeated, so you know, I'm made to respect him.
For the first fight, there was a few niggling, let's say, issues around the gloves on the ring canvas at the beginning of the night. Has there been any such problems this time around?
That was just made up by the Fury side. I mean, there were no issues with taping or gloves. The point was that when Wladimir, I mean, you always have certain times when you start taping, and then a person from the other camp is in the locker room. They never showed up when Wladimir wanted to tape because he has to train then with the gloves on. And after 15 minutes, still nobody was there, and then he started taping his thing, and then they made a big issue out of it. I mean, they were not on time. That was the background. And
was normally Vitaly, I think, watches the wrapping.
Yeah,
of
he
the
was there
gloves.
on time.
He was on time.
He was there on time in their locker room, but nobody from their side was in our locker room.
And what about the canvas? That was almost a showstopper, wasn't it, for the first fight?
I mean, it was a bit softer than normally, but Wladimir had trained in a soft ring because of his calf injury. Remember, the fight had to be postponed a little bit, and then we had the same soft. But it was not against the rules, but in the end, they had the ring. We all were happy with, and then it was fine. I mean, that was not the reason for Wladimir losing the fight or Fury winning the fight. It's not about the canvas.
After the fight, Wladimir at the press conference looked a little bit coy. He was being very tight-lipped over the defeat, and Vitaly seemed a bit more upset than Wladimir did.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a defeat the first time after more than 11 years. I mean, you are not enthusiastic about it, yeah? Sure. And you think about it, you are a bit calmer and thinking about certain things, but that's normal, I guess.